Hi, I am Nikki Owen. I'm a writer and columnist. My first book, it comes out in May 2015. It's called The Spider in the Corner of the Room, and it's the first in a trilogy, so it's very exciting. It's about a doctor called Dr. Maria Martinez. She actually has Asperger's, and she's a Spanish plastic surgeon, and she finds herself in prison, effectively convicted for the murder of a Catholic priest, and it kind of goes from there, and not only how it affects her and what's on her mind, but also why is she in there and the whole conspiracy behind who's kind of caused her to be there and what's going to happen next and why. It's actually a psychological conspiracy thriller. It's a wee bit different to other genres. It's mixing two genres together, and for me it's exciting because it's two genres that I absolutely adore: conspiracy and psychological thriller. That kind of suspense of what's going on, always kind of an ambiguity to exactly who's who they seem. And one of the strap lines I used to kind of in my head to give it a theme and also to promote it externally is the truth is a lie, and the question is what's the truth and what's not the truth and who is really lying. And it plays on what actually happens in real life today in terms of people spying on each other, the recent NSA kind of scandal, you know, what's that got to do with everything. So it's very exciting. I mean, hopefully it will make people think. I think the fact that the main character has Asperger's is really interesting because, of course, people with Asperger's, I remember looking at forums and people actually asked people with Asperger's, can you feel emotions? And people with Asperger's replied, of course we do, we're not robots. But however, because we see what they say, which is actually quite clinical, quite cold. They don't know how to express emotions, and that's the key thing. They don't know how to express them. So in their speech, it's different to what's in their head. In their head, they think as we do, they feel, they hurt, everything as we always do, but it's the way in which it's told. It's different, and that makes a really interesting character. And I guess the main thing is, you know, are we too quick to judge people straight away? You know, to judge a book by its cover, and that's the great thing about writing this character, Dr. Martinez, is because you know, we see what happens to her and what she says, but then we can then go into her head, you know, me as a writer can go into her head and then we can reveal actually what happens in people's heads, even though outwardly they seem very closed doors. So it's a great character, and I hope that will kind of spark a debate, definitely. Things that made it possible to get to where I am today, let me see, just a lot of hard work and persistence. I tried to write one book, it was in a different genre, kind of more contemporary genre, if you will, general fiction. That didn't quite work, but what it did do was get me some feet in the door, if you will, bad English, to different agents, one of which was PFD. And I think that's the way my route's taken. A lot of hard work to get to that point. A daily routine, definitely. People are larks or night owls, and I'm definitely a lark without a doubt. So I get up at 5 in the morning because I have a family as well, and so certainly when they were a lot younger I used to kind of do it that way and fit my writing time in around what was then work as well and writing. So doing a full-time job and family and writing. But now I can work more full-time on the writing. I still continue when I've got a big deadline. I still continue to get up at 5 because it seems to work with a big strong coffee, like a vat of it, and then and continue throughout the day until I pick up the kids from school, and then sometimes work then through the night as well. So it depends what's on. And I think if you really want to make it, because it's really competitive to be a writer or anything like that, you've got to put in the extra mile. And maybe a few extra 100 miles, really. So work hard, read every different genre you can get your hands on, but not just genres of books, but also read about how to write a book. One of the best books I used was one my husband got me about 5 years ago. It was how to write a novel. It was one of the Teach Yourself series. Fantastic in learning the craft bit by bit and pulling it apart. So do your homework, definitely, and good luck. Writing a novel when you don't have a definite endpoint in terms of whether somebody's going to like it or not or pick it up, it's quite weird because you have to keep having confidence in yourself and you keep having dips, and then you think, no, come on, this is what you want to do, but you never know for certain until somebody says yes, we want that. You never know for certain. So then when it goes out at the first step to some agents, it's like, oh my goodness, and then if you're lucky enough to get an agent, then it goes out again. So you've constantly got these points where you never quite know. But the delightful thing now is I do know, and it does give you that confidence again, and you know, that helps in in your other works than when you write. But yeah, it's quite scary. I always loved writing ever since I was really small. I remember writing kind of in full colour the book Thumbelina, and when I was 5 I rewrote it completely. But then as I got older, I again always loved writing. Won a competition to design a book cover. It was judged by Quentin Blake. I think I was about 14, and then since then won different things, but always have written, but not directly creatively. So I worked in marketing, and then was head of copywriting for an advertising agency for a long time, and then flipped a bit more permanently over creative and thought, well, I'll give it a shot. Let's see what I can do, and turns out quite a lot.